Nicole is waltzing onto Peacock in October with this erotic thriller. Stanley Kubrick is the filmmaker behind some of the most celebrated and influential films ever made, but one of his most polarizing films is easily 1999's Eyes Wide Shut. The notorious erotic thriller starring Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise divided critics and audiences, being the subject of mass controversy and censorship when it was first released due to its graphic sexual content. It's led to the overall well-received film having a complicated legacy. But if you hadn't seen Stanley Kubrick's bonkers erotic thrill ride yet, you'll be able to experience it in all its glory via its new streaming home this October. Starting October 1st, Eyes Wide Shut will be available to stream on the NBCUniversal-backed streaming platform of Peacock. The Stanley Kubrick film will be joining a stellar October lineup of classic movies that will be hitting Peacock that month. Also in the mix are Francis Ford Coppola's extremely faithful vampire adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, the cult classic Star Trek parody Galaxy Quest, and Tim Burton's spooky and scary reimagining of Sleepy Hollow. While Eyes Wide Shut isn't necessarily a horror movie, the film's propensity for masquerades makes it a fitting film to watch ahead of Halloween. Eyes Wide Shut tells the story of a New York-based doctor named William Harfrod Tom Cruise and his partner Alice Harford Nicole Kidman, who have a harmless yet unexciting romantic life. Despite genuinely caring for her husband, Alice feels unfulfilled in her sexual desires and eventually shares her frustrations with her husband. Alice's admission makes William feel that his marriage is in danger of crumbling, so in an attempt to salvage it, he begins exploring a hidden world of underground sex parties and orgies. While it may appear like harmless consensual fun at first, it doesn't take long for William and Alice to discover that something much more sinister and unusual is lurking beneath the surface. Everything about Eyes Wide Shut from its development to its release is shrouded in controversy. The film had a shoot that lasted over a year at about 400 days, and things got even more complicated for the film after Stanley Kubrick passed away before the film's release. Once the film finally did release, it was censored for a variety of reasons and debuted with an abysmal CinemaScore rating, and yet it still persevered as one of the most provocative and interesting films from a titan in the filmmaking industry and the 90s most recognizable power couple.